Of course, the biggest news, which is not really popping up right at this moment, Tesla owners sour over Musk venture into U.S. policy. Tesla owners Tom Blackburn was so proud of his Tesla, he even bought one in bright red to stand out. But with company CEO Elon Musk foray into U.S. politics, he swore never to buy from the electric car maker again. Here's my biased, I thought that did finish up as well, reason why I am a Tesla and to some degree a Elon Musk supporter. He is definitely the Albert Einstein and J.D. Rockefeller of our time, meaning that not only is he extremely smart, he's also the richest man in the world. And at one point in time, Elizabeth Warren was fucking with him.
Elon Musk doesn't want to have to pay taxes like everybody else. And I gotta say, on behalf of every school teacher who pays taxes, on behalf of every waitress who pays taxes, on behalf of every American citizen who goes out, works for a living, and pays taxes, and is paying more than Elon Musk, who most recently, 2018, paid zero in taxes, that's just fundamentally wrong. We have a broken tax system that lets Elon Musk freeload off everyone else, and it needs to stop.
To the point where they wanted him to pay taxes. Maybe taxes on SpaceX or the Boring Company or Neuralink, the other private companies that he had. But I think the majority of his wealth at the time really came from his stock compensation that he got for being the CEO of Tesla. And what he elected to do, because you have to also remember, Elon Musk was instrumental in the creation of PayPal. So he knows a lot about money, let alone how to run a company. He took that money and he opened up SpaceX. And then at some point in time, he came across these guys that had created the Tesla Roadster, and because they did not want to go into large-scale production, whole manufacturing, he ended up somehow getting on the board, becoming the CEO, bought these guys out. They got really salty and basically took it from let's say a $5 billion company to a $500 billion company, $500 billion. And the agreement that he made with shareholders, or the proposal that he made with shareholders was like this: I only want to be compensated in stock. I don't want to get a salary. And if I can take this company from that $5 billion to that $500 billion, I want to make X, Y. I want to have my shares given to me in tranches, which basically means I have to do certain things along the way. It's like going through first grade into college, and if I don't pass all these grades and hit all these milestones, basically, let's say a B plus, I will not be giving the stocks over this period of time. And at some point in time, there was what they would call an activist judge, prevented him from getting his pay package. But first you start with Elizabeth Warren going after him about his taxes. He ended up selling Tesla stock, tanking the stock, scared the shit out of me because a lot of my 401k, when I started self-managing it, was put into the Tesla stock. I was buying as much as I possibly can, and it went from like 300 down to 100. And no, actually, he got on the Joe Rogan show and started smoking weed, and that's when I sold, because I really wasn't understanding exactly who Elon Musk was, because he was definitely different from any, CEO that we were accustomed to seeing, in their suits and ties, outside of Tim Cook, who I had much respect for what he did with Apple. But all his money was basically tied up in his stock, so he sold some stock to pay his taxes, maybe the most taxes ever paid by any one individual, which I think was like maybe $50 million. Then the second smack in the face was when the Biden administration did their EV summit and didn't invite Tesla.
Like Biden held this EV summit, didn't invite Tesla. Invited GM, Ford, Chrysler, and UAW. Didn't mention Tesla once, and praised GM and Ford for leading the EV revolution.
They invited GM, they invited Ford under the guise that this was an invitation to car companies that had a union. That was the second slap in the face. And of course, the third was his compensation package being denied by, quote unquote, this activist judge. So, one time shame on you, two times shame on me. Unfortunately, you guys went
Oh, penetrated.
balls deep.
Yeah. This dude on top of you, just sweat just dripping off his face, falling off his chin, fall in the eye, both eyes burning. Oh!
And did a third time. So the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and that's how I ended up partnering with Elon Musk. I say that to say that as a Tesla stock owner, and this is, not financial advice, I believe that you have to look at stocks from a long-term perspective, and if you do that, you will probably be rewarded. Now, the stocks don't always go up. That's just, not the way that this whole thing works. And I support Elon Musk and Tesla because I believe that the company can become one of the biggest companies in the world. So I did buy a Cybertruck, and we get middle fingers as much as we get thumbs up. It comes with the territory, but I really do believe that what he's doing with the government in trying to find this waste is needed. The fact that we haven't done an audit of our system, it's kind of like an operating system. We've been operating, this government's been operating on Windows 95 in the OS world. And one of the things that you need to do if you're going to have a functioning government in a country is to make sure that all your money that you're quote unquote collecting and redistributing for the for the social good is being put to its best use. Yes, I can be biased because I'm not in a government job, and yes, I do hate that people are getting fired and laid off. And I don't want to say it is what it is, but clearly it is what it is. But so for people to, and everybody's has their own opinion. I just want to share this opinion and perspective to give people at least an insight. I am not a black nice Nazi just because I have a Cybertruck. Trust and believe. I am a Democrat. I will probably always be a Democrat, but let's just say that I'm probably more leaning towards not necessarily being such a liberal Democrat, but more of a moderate Democrat, and wanting just checks and balances. And I guess we can probably finish off with, I'll do one more story. Ooh.